Make sure to watch this video to the end, and also note that this is the continuation of the previous video.
So now call this guy propan 1, 2, 3. If I count from this side, it's the same. If I count from this side, it's the same. Propan 1, 2, 3 what? Triol. Propan 1, 2, 3 triol. This guy is also popularly called what? Glycerol. Okay? It's called what? Glycerol. Okay? Note that it's called glycerol. Now, finally, we need to know what? An example of polyhydric alcohols. For that to happen, you give me a second. I have to what? Wipe out somewhere. Where would be best for us to wipe out? I don't want to touch it. Okay, so let me just wipe this place out. Okay, now for an example of what? Polyhydric alcohol. It's very simple. An example of that is what? Glucose. Okay, so now let's draw the structure of glucose. If I were to draw the structure of glucose, it goes like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Now, alright guys, now pay close attention. As we said, any organic compound that is an alcohol bearing how many OH more than what? 3 is called polyhydric. And obviously from the look of things, we have a lot of OH group here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. This is an example of polyhydric. And this compound we are looking at what is what? Glucose. Okay, so if we are to name this guy, how do we name him? Okay, first of all, now if we look at this guy here, what is this? This is what? The functional group of alkanals. The alkanals. So on that note, the parent name will not be what? It has to end with anal, right? Okay, so on that note, if we count the carbons, we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. So the parent name will obviously be what? Hexanal. Now, but that's not all. We have to count the carbons. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so now if we want to give it an isopath name, we have to give it what? This. We have to call it, forgive me if I write it here. So it will be called 2 what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 what? 6. Now the number of the OH. These are the positions of the OH. Now if we count the number of the OH, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Penta. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the number of the OH should not be what? Penta what? Penta hydroxyl hexanal. Alright? Now that's it. That's the name of this compound here. Okay? So what else should we do? We will not talk about what? Based on the position of the OH group. This is very, very, very important. Okay? So on that note, what do? We've given examples on these guys. So I think I should clean this up, okay? Okay, welcome back. Now, based on the position of the OH group, we can also classify alcohols. But now, we'll classify them into primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohols. Now, how does this work? For example, if we are classifying alcohols, a monohydric alcohol can be what? Can be primary, secondary, or tertiary. But a dihydric, trihydric, polyhydric cannot be primary, secondary, and tertiary. Note that. Okay? So now, how do we know how this thing works? It's very, very simple. The position. So now, let me give you an example of a primary so that you understand this. Okay? I think I should, let me draw it here. I will draw the rest down here. Okay? So, the first one is what? Let's use this example. Alright, now this is an example. This is called what? Ethanol. Why is it called a primary? Because after isolating the carbon bearing the OH, it leads us to only one carbon. Do you understand? That is, the carbon bearing the OH is attached to only one carbon. That makes it what? A primary alcohol. It's linked to only one carbon. It makes it a primary alcohol. But now let me give you another example on secondary alcohol, how it works. If this carbon bearing an OH is connected to two other carbons, it's now called what? It's going to be called secondary alcohol. So now let's see what we have here. Alright, this is our example. Remember, this guy is called ethanol. I don't have to write that, okay? So now, after isolating the carbon bearing the OH, if you notice, this carbon bearing the OH is now connected, is now bonded to two other carbons. It's leading us to two other carbons. That is why we call it what? A secondary what? Alcohol. If we were to name this guy, it's very, very simple. We are going to name it what? 1, 2, 3. It's going to be called what? 2-propanol. We can call it 2-propanol or propan 2 or any of them. 2 what? Propanol. This guy is called 2-propanol, or if it's propan 2 or is the same thing, okay? So now, our final example, where are we going to put this guy? Alright, let me clean this first one. Also simple, just pay close attention. Alright. Alright, good. Now, this compound here, after isolating the carbon bearing the OH, observe, it leads us to this carbon, and this carbon. So the carbon bearing the OH is connected to 3 other carbons. That is why it's called tertiary alcohol. If we are to name this guy, how do we name him? Now, see what we do. We say what? First of all, we bring out the substituent. It's called the position, is in the position of 2. If we come from a 1, 2, 1, 2. So we just give it what? 2-methyl what? 2-methyl propan 2-ol. That's the name of this compound. 2-methyl propan 2-ol. Alright. I think now, on that note, we still have a lot of things to discuss. Now, there's something I want you to note. Just chip it in. Now, based on acidity, in fact, like talking about the acidity of alcohols, I'm going to talk about it and phenols together. There are a lot of things we have to talk about there, we have to discuss, you have to learn. Very, very important. But now, based on acidity, I just want to chip this in. Okay? Based on acidity, primary alcohols is more acidic than secondary alcohol. As secondary alcohol is more acidic than tertiary alcohol. Now, in terms of solubility, we are not done with acidity, but like just note this. In terms of solubility, is the reverse, okay? Tertiary alcohol is what? More soluble than secondary, and secondary is more soluble than primary. Hope you note that. Alright, so on that note, we still have a lot of things to discuss. We're still going to talk about the acidity of alcohols, take note. And then the solubility, we'll mention that, alright? So now, what is left is laboratory preparation and industrial preparation, including the properties of alcohol. And finally, nomenclature. So make sure you stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching True Chemilites. Okay? So, make sure you enjoy your sweet drug. Thank you.
Guys, this is a competition for broke people.
My name is
No, go back. We don't need professional broke people yet.
Jesus. Kai.
About the struggle.